My name is Holly Olson. I participated in, and I don't really recall the name, but it was in the diabetic education program. How I heard about it was kind of funny because I received a text message through the Prisma, my chart, and and I've been trying to regulate my overnight blood sugar, and this came in, and I've been trying to figure out, well, how do I get that blood sugar down? And it said, hey, you can learn more about diabetes, and it's for free, and all you have to do is sign up here. And I immediately sent an email over to register for the program. So I've been a diabetic now for 18 years. I've participated in multiple education programs. I've sat and had educators sit with me one-on-one, and we've gone through programs. And I managed to maintain my sugar within a reasonable level. I've always been below 7.0, but that overnight blood sugar level has always been a real stickler for me. So I figured, well, let me go ahead and participate so that maybe I learn something that will help me to manage that a little bit better. And even though I've been a diabetic a long time, sometimes you kind of get stuck, and it's good to hear from other people as well. I think with the program, what I also really enjoyed is I got an opportunity to speak to other individuals with similar struggles as me, and we would break off into groups and just brainstorm about our struggles and how we could potentially overcome that. And I found that to be very helpful. So I did lose weight, and I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was just trying to moderate my morning blood sugar levels. But the change in diet, the increased exercise, and just really having some new ways of thinking through and managing my sugar levels, and well, let me say their strategies, right? So I was just for example, my husband would go shopping, and he would do all the shopping, and then I would just cook anything that he brought home. Well, being more deliberate with how we go about and doing the shopping, and let's go ahead and create a list each week of what we're going to have, and not like do this potluck of whatever the hubby brings home, and then kind of just really more being proactive rather than reactive. And so it's changed how I eat, and what I eat, and it's really had a positive impact. My sugar levels are probably about 80%, 80 to 90% below the recommendation of 130 in the morning now. So I do have occasional oopsies there, but I am a diabetic, and it's going to happen. But I feel like I'm more in control. So I feel the best benefit that I have is I know when something is not going the way that I want it to. Okay, now these are the things that I need to start taking a look at. Am I exercising enough? What am I eating? What's my calorie intake? What else can I do? What kinds of foods? What kind of carbs? And all of that has been a huge benefit to me. Yeah, so probably the biggest challenge, and if you went back and spoke with Melissa, she would tell you, my struggle was always time. Time was not my friend. I have a high schooler who's involved in a lot of activities. I work full time, and trying to figure out, well, how do I create this schedule for, the food for the week? How do I fit in exercise? How do I meet all of these new, um, uh, uh, I don't want to say challenges, but the just new style, this new lifestyle. How do I bring that into my world where I can meet it day in and day out? That was probably the biggest struggle. But the good news is that everybody, I would go into the group sessions and they would kind of help me to brainstorm, well, maybe you could do this. Maybe when you're sitting at the desk, you could stand up, every so often, or maybe you could be doing, walking at lunch or whatever. So, just developing new ways of thinking through and how to incorporate it into my day-to-day routine. That was the biggest struggle. So that's a really great question. So one of the things that I do is I wear a Fitbit. So I'm always keeping track of my exercise, and it also it tells me when I've been sitting too long to get up and move around. So I have continuous reminders to get up and move around. I also continue to keep track of my calories. I put them into an app, and I can look at how much protein, how much carbohydrates, how much fat I'm consuming, and I manage my blood pressure, and I keep all of this in one app, in my weight, and I can actually go back and reflect on that. If my weight is going up or my sugar is increasing, I can go back to the technology and the data in that technology to help me dissect where I may be going wrong. And so that's some of the key takeaways. And then, of course, sitting down and planning out how I'm going to meet some of the exercise and the diet plan that I have set in place. As I mentioned earlier, I've been a diabetic for 18 years, and I still found a benefit in it. And and I attended many educational classes beforehand and one-on-one. The thing of it is that when you're diabetic for the rest of your life. You're never going to not be a diabetic. Even if you have your sugar totally managed, it's managed. There's no cure for it. Therefore, you need to continuously be learning about how to manage your diabetes. And it doesn't matter whether you're just beginning the journey to manage it or you're 18 years into the journey. The education is very important. And I can tell you that when I first started the journey, it's all brand new. It's all brand new. And so naturally, things are going to be said to me that I miss because there's too much to learn in that first go around. So you have to continuously coming back to the education to try to absorb more. And the more that you learn, the better you'll be able to manage your sugar. And I will say one thing is that when I was in the program, my sugar was 6.6, my A1C, and it's now 6.3. And so it's on its way down. And so that's all you need is one thing to click to help you manage that better.